Hey, everybody, I'm Sabrina J., and you are listening to The Screen Team. To my right, we are honored by
Jamie Hickson.
And to my left,
Mark Sanders.
And we had the privilege of watching the Kingsman Golden Circle. And if you are like me, you are anticipating a whole lot of craziness in this show. I am not disappointed, but I'm here to find out tonight what these guys, they're more intellectual than I, had to say about their experience with the Kingsman. Let's start off with you.
I was a huge fan of the first movie. I did not see it at the theater. I discovered it on DVD, and I've watched it 20 or 30 times since then.
So you can replicate all of the fancy moves they do?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not a bit. I can replicate a lot of the language, but since this is radio,
probably.
I better not do that.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes, I went into the second movie with very high expectations, and like you said, I was not disappointed. I thought the second one, it was funny, lots of big laughs in it.
Yeah.
Parts of it genuinely sadder. From some of the things that happened, but also very, very sweet. The second movie I found had much more heart than the first. The first was all about establishing the characters and sort of, setting up this world. And then they just expand on the world, and you could tell that everyone involved in this movie really loves these characters and really wanted to bring them to life again.
Expansion is definitely a good word for this because they brought in people I never, ever would have put on my top 10 list to do the second round with. But let me tell you, Mr. XXL Magic Mike did not disappoint. Also, though, because he wasn't in it a lot. Different story.
I was gonna say,
different show.
Anyway,
what did you think?
You just like that he was dancing around in a hospital
I just like that he was laying in an ice cold bed, and that's all I had to see.
Spoilers. No. Anyway, I really liked it. I got to see the first one at the theater, and I really dig these kind of movies for that fact that when you go see them on the big screen, it's like, because anything with explosions and people on zip lines across, giant canyons filled with snow and ice, that needs to be seen on the big screen the first time.
It's true. And the action between the characters in the fight scenes, in number one, blew my mind. And then number two was exactly the same as far as it was as what I expected.
Yeah.
But they didn't just depend on that. And I appreciated that very much.
Yeah, well, 2 hours plus of just all action and explosions would have been overkill.
Speaking of overkill, so I don't even know why I made that connection. But I went into this for some reason. Maybe it's the time difference in my age. I forget things when I sleep. I just had this sensation of a 007 style movie. And it's because they're in suits and because they are very, very respectable men on the job, I should say. That is so weird to say that, isn't it? Yeah. But I that was what I had in my mind. It's not what I get. You get a flash of something that could be 007 style, and then they just
And then they really flip it around.
They smash it under the rug.
Yeah. There's something that Harry Hart says when he's talking to Valentine in the first movie, that the strength of the Bond movies depended on the strength of the villain. Mm-hmm. And, Samuel L. Jackson, of course, was just amazing in that.
Bizarre.
Yes, in that first one. But the second one actually has two villains.
Yes.
There's the one that they advertise, Julianne Moore playing Poppy, who's just
as bizarre.
Yes, completely bizarre.
Without the speech impediment.
Yes, but the real villain of the movie is Bruce Greenwood as the president.
Yes.
And that was completely believable and so dark.
Yeah.
And it's so a sign of the times.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's, I think one of the things is they really put a lot of thought into the villains, because in the first one, Valentine's trying to address global warming.
Yes.
Of course, his solution is completely insane.
Just let's start over.
Right. And the same thing with Poppy. It's like we're gonna solve the drug problem in our country.
By eliminating the drug addicts.
Yes.
Okay, sure. And there's no spoilers there, folks. You're going to get all that within the first half hour, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
But so, Jamie, how did you feel about the language in this movie?
Well, I wasn't too appalled by it, or whatever you would want to say.
I mean, you don't want to put this movie on at Thanksgiving when the family's over.
No. You definitely. I mean, if even judging by the first one, you knew this was going to have some language. So
yes.
It's not for the kids for sure.
No.
I mean, it is rated R. So
they will parrot the crap out of this thing.
Yeah, and I thought they toned it down. I mean, I didn't go through with Italian count
right,
all
no
of
comparison
the,
side
right,
by side
and,
stuff,
and count all of the F-bombs, but because that's what you're going to hear in this. But again, I thought the tone of the whole movie was much sweeter, and of course, Eggsy is your central character, and he's no longer this young man with a chip on his shoulder. He's a fully fledged agent.
He is, but when he's off duty, he's still the flyboy.
Yes, he is. And Taron Egerton in the row is just perfect.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you saw the first one at the very end, he gets the girl, and she's all over this one.
And keeps the girl.
Oh,
I thought that
man.
was wonderful. It wasn't just this fling at the end. He does what Bond only did once, which was stay with the same girl.
It's the journey between the beginning and the end that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And without us telling you exactly how they do it, they managed to do some crazy stuff. And Elton John.
Oh my God.
I don't even have
If you're
words.
paying attention while you're watching the movie, when that reveal is made, which I guess we just kind of
I don't know when and how, but he's there.
Yeah, it's just, but if you're paying attention, you'll see it coming to a degree. But
I'm disappointed
because I caught that thing,
yet at the same time,
the Easter egg or whatever you call it. So
yeah. Well, it's just that. Yeah, why? I don't know. I'm challenged by his dialogue.
One of the things, absolutely.
I know some people that met him in Atlanta, where he lives.
Yeah,
and he was not very nice.
No,
No.
He has a song called "The Bitch Is Back." I mean,
well, his not nice side really comes out in
yes.
this. One of the things I also liked, and I think is part of the sweetness of the movie, obviously, is
the romance.
The
love.
romance, right, and the respect that he has,
yes,
for his girlfriend, and he still has that sense because she's a Swedish princess and he's a kid from the wrong side of London, and how is this all going to work out? But the first movie was all about Eggsy is a kid who grew up without a father, so Harry becomes like this surrogate father for him, and it's not a giveaway because Colin Firth is in all the trailers, so
he's there somehow.
Yes, they bring Harry back, and it really is this father-son relationship. And if I can bring another summer movie back,
it's a multi-dimensional relationship.
Right. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I thought the biggest strength was talking about the relationships between fathers and sons, and that's what you get in Kingsman in both movies.
And it's a mentorship.
Yes.
There's a development that makes a mentor a family association, and I think they very much they do a very good job of delivering that feeling, because you don't have to have a daddy to have a father figure in your life.
Absolutely.
PSA over.
I do wish that they had, and I think I've read or at least seen it hinted that there will be a Kingsman 3.
I hope so.
And I think
Holy cow.
I think they're gonna keep the Statesman back. I hope that they give bigger roles for Jeff Bridges and for
there is room for all of that,
and for Magic Mike. I thought they bring in Agent Tequila and then he disappears.
Tequila.
Yeah. So I thought
mess.
Yeah, Channing Tatum was really underused, and I thought Jeff Bridges was.
But
to a
I'm
certain
okay
extent,
with
too.
that, because I was afraid they were just going to terrify me with too much Tatum, and I don't even know why I would say such a thing. But
there's probably a lot of women who probably can't get too much. Channing
all I
Tatum.
needed was him in blue jeans with a, what was it? What did he have? He didn't have the lasso. The other guy had it. The Burt Reynolds look-alike. Holy cow!
Oh yeah,
that guy.
let's talk about Pedro
quickly, because we are about to run out of time.
Pedro
folks.
Pascal doing the perfect American actor. I mean, he's a Spanish actor. You might remember him as Oberyn Martell from Game of Thrones, and he's got this Antonio Banderas, real thick Spanish accent, and he comes off as totally Southern American. It's like, how did he?
Burt Reynolds.
Yes.
You would think he was from Texas.
You would think this was
really
they just plucked him right out of Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, and all of the effects, all of the stunts, everything was pitch perfect. Loved
Beautiful.
it. Go see it again.
Absolutely. And you?
Yeah.
2 thumbs up, everybody.
I like
3.
it.
All right. You have been listening to The Screen Team, brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers and a whole load of other people. Fearless Social and Rock. Holy cow. Chris is going to kill me.
You'll double them in later.
Can you fix that? Can you fix that in post
I wanted to say rock solid, but oh well, whatever.
Insert plug here.
You know what? I love you, and that's all that matters. People keep listening and always show your appreciation for the movies. And really, the most important thing to know is know before you go.